article that was published in the Washington Post that was talking about how college athletes should be able to major in sports, not major in philosophy or English or math or communications or whatever, but you should actually be able to major in sports. Browner, I played college football. I feel like I did major in sports, but I don't know that I'd really want to. I mean, sports management, I suppose. But
right. You have to be very, very careful with the criteria within this, because if you're just saying that, okay, this actual sport counts as a credit, that's some dangerous territory, because now what do you like? But if you're talking about putting a finance class in there, if you're talking about putting a health class in there, if you're talking about putting a business class, like if you're talking about putting stuff in there, electives that qualify for the major, okay. But if you're just going to say, okay, you play a sport, that's your field of expertise, that's not good. I don't want that. Then you got to pay them. Because now if they ain't doing nothing at the school but playing sports, pay them.
What do you mean playing sports? They're majoring in sports.
You call it what you want.
Here's the thing why I think it's a great idea is because college is voluntary. You don't have to go to college. It's not like they're changing the thing in like high schools that now eradicated and you can now major in sports in high school. Like, no, like this is up to the individual whether they even want to go to class. And I always remember like when I was doing my major at San Diego State in journalism, and they're making me take math class and they're making me take like history class. I'm like, why? I'm here to learn journalism. I'm here to learn how to write in a newspaper. I'm learning how to write like long form articles, how to be a writer, how to be a reporter, how to ask questions. Like, I'm not here to learn about math. Like, I haven't taken a math class since who knows when, because why would I? So there's so many classes when you go to college. This is my like soapbox. I think college is just dumb the way it's framed, but that's a whole other conversation. So to me, I love the idea. If a kid like a Trevor Lawrence is going and he wants to major in sports, cool. But if a kid like Trevor Lawrence goes and I want to major in like business finance, you can do that too. Like there's a lot of kids that have done and gone and got an actual like real education where some guys just go for 6 months like basketball players and bounce. What's the point of making them take classes? They're just there for 6 months. Who cares?
I just think that if you're going to keep the sport quote unquote veiled as student athletes, then you have to make them take regular classes.
But that goes away in 2023, 2022 when it's
talk to me then. Talk to me when they cut them checks.
But here's the thing, like I think like we're on this like we're talking about the college athletes as a whole. The problem is that college athletes, every single sport is so different. Like so with basketball players, how many kids are on campus for like 4 months and they're out, 6 months and they're out? Like that happens quite a bit.
Some
in football.
No. That's a misconception.
How many one and dones are there?
How many could there be? 5, 10? I mean, how many could there possibly be?
Right. So why do
25 max?
Exactly. But why do 25? Because it's so isolated then. Why do 25 kids who are for sure going to be there for 6 months and that's it? Why do they have to follow a guideline for football players who have to be there for at least 3 years? It's two totally different set of rules being put under the same umbrella.
Because we do things in this country for the whole, for the greater good, for all people. We don't necessarily change an entire system of college education for 25 to 30 guys a year. And that fluctuates. Sometimes it's 25 to 30, sometimes it's 10 to 15. So you want to change the entire college curriculum structure for 10 to 15 to 30 guys a year? I don't think that's a good idea.
I don't think that's what's being argued here. I think what's being argued is that if you come to school, if you come to a college to play a sport and that's your main area of focus, then to your earlier point, Browner, maybe you create a curriculum that's partially health, partially coaching, partially sports business. I mean, maybe
nutrition.
There's a whole curriculum that is sports and that you can only take that if you're an athlete on campus. I don't know. I mean, listen, it's just an interesting conversation. You know, should sports be its own major? I just was flipping through. I love some of these questions. Go ahead,
Alex. Wait. Do you guys remember Matt Leinart? And I think Joe Burrow too. Joe Burrow, let's stick with Joe Burrow because this just happened, right? So Joe Burrow did his thing at LSU or wherever he transferred from. He got his degree.
He was a 7-year senior.
Right. So he doesn't even have to go to school. He's taken one online class for his whole senior year, the year that he dominates at LSU, like what's really the difference there? Like he's majoring in football. That's the only thing he's doing. Matt Leinart did ballroom dancing for a whole football semester. So I
I'd already graduated my senior year. I had graduated from college and I had one more year of eligibility. If I were smart back then, I would have joined the MBA program and I would have had the football team pay for my first year of graduate school. But instead, like a moron, okay, like someone who actually thought he was going to play in the NFL, all I thought about was
you did.
But all I thought about was I'm going to play in the NFL. I need another year of college football, and I'm already graduated. So what am I going to do? You know what I took? I took one class my 5th year. I had already graduated, so I took one class, real estate. And at the end of the class, you actually took the test to get your real estate license. And of course, wouldn't you know that I failed it? I mean, I never got my real estate license.
You were majoring and kicking.
I wasted an entire semester and wasted 6 months of my life by playing ball, not taking classes, and ultimately, even the one class I did take, I failed the test anyway. So I'm just saying, Alex's point is that a lot of these guys, it's not 25 guys that come in and bounce as freshmen and are one and dones. There's the notion that a lot of these kids show up there because sports is their priority. Okay, fine. So now you get done with school and you graduate and you go into the real world and you go, hey, I'm here to apply for the job. Like, hey, what'd you major in? And you're like, soccer. How's that going to help you? Well, I was actually a varsity soccer player at this school, and the major consisted of all of these different things. Do they have real life connections? Can you do anything with those? I'm not sure. I just think it's an interesting conversation. Should you be able to major in your sport? Or
one, they would have to have real world applications within their sport. And two, the question I don't think anyone's really answered. What if you don't make the team? Can you still major in a sport? Let's say if I'm trash at football, but I want to major in sports, and football is what I love to watch. I'm great at fantasy football. I can pick them. I know how to bet. What will that get me? Do I have to wear a helmet in a uniform to major in a sport?
But I think the biggest question for me, and I've always wondered, is why did privately owned businesses attach eligibility to NCAA athletics? That's like the larger question anyways. Like,
what do you mean?
Why do kids have to be 3 years out of football to basically play in college or play somewhere before they can be like in the league? Why is, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why didn't the NFL do what baseball does and have all these minor league systems and just have them be in football from the age of 18 on up? Like, I don't understand why professional privately financed leagues even attached these guys to college athletics.
All right,
Alex, come on, brother. You know why? Don't say that. Come on. You know why?
I don't know why. So
yes, you do. You participated in it. You were in the NFL feeder system. You played college football. They have a system where you can be 18 years old and they can watch you play all the way up to your 21, 22, 23. If you're Joe Burrow, 25. That's their system. They don't need a minor league system. They got one. It's college football.